Hello, beautiful people. How are you doing? It's Deborah Mann. I'm back with you. I received a request from one of our viewers about love. What to say about love. So I'm not going to go into what you told me because that's your own private stuff. But I'm going to break down ordinary love as opposed to love beyond love. What is that? So I've written a few notes. Excuse me, I have to read sometimes. So two people will fall in love. At first, it's ordinary love. It's passion, laughter, the same desires, the same wants, they have things in common, and they have an ordinary love. And it can be a deep love. It doesn't mean it's not a deep love. But over time, something shifts. Not always, because love beyond love is not ordinary love. I hope I'm getting this across. I'm going to use a film as a reference for you to better understand this. So distance could separate them, right? One could get sick. And what happens in ordinary love? Very often that's the catalyst for, well, there's no more left here. And the distance, well, I'm never going to see that person. The distance is gone. And yeah, that could be true. But something deeper awakens. Rumi, the mystic Sufi, wrote a most incredible love poem about somebody and Shams. I can't remember the name right now, but it's absolutely beautiful. And that's a very good example of love beyond love. So at first, when the distance is separated, your love feels shaken. Maybe you feel shaken. But slowly, something deeper awakens. You no longer love only for what the person can give you. What you can receive, shall I say. You love even if nothing's given back. You love without wanting anything. When they say love is unconditional, love is unconditional. So this is the shift from ordinary love to love beyond love. Okay. That can be, for example, you don't feel, as in Rumi's poem, I cannot remember the name of that poem, but anyway, when Shams leaves, he's completely shattered because it's as if the two people become one, and you feel you are the other person, and the other person, well, you can't feel for them, but you feel you are the other person. You're not two separate entities anymore. You're one. It goes beyond, it transcends words, it transcends any kind of explanation. It's a feeling. Because remember, love comes from your heart. And let your heart break open, because that's how more love comes in. So don't close your heart, okay? If it gets broken, and it might, let it break open. Love beyond, love is unconditional, love is eternal. A love that we don't just feel, but that which we are. Now, if that sounds so confusing for a lot of you, I'm sure, I'm going to try and explain this. Unfortunately, well, the best film I can use to explain this is Wuthering Heights, but the original one, not the new one that's coming out in January. Sorry, Emily Bronte. Your one was better. what happens is, if you haven't seen the film Wuthering Heights, then perhaps you should have a look at that film. And for Emily Bronte to have seen or perceived, shall I say, what kind of love beyond love, right? For her to have perceived that, or the sisters, they must have experienced something similarly in order to portray it so brilliantly. So the movie, if you haven't seen it, it's about two people, Heathcliff and Cathy. Heathcliff's adopted, Cathy's born into wealth. And they get together as children and they become friends, and then they start falling in love. And even though he's been made to be the stable hand when his father dies, she still loves him. Cathy is more light-hearted. Cathy seeks joy. She seeks fun. Whereas Heathcliff is he's more dark. He's completely taken with Cathy as she is with him. So she says in the movie, she actually says, "But I am Heathcliff." That's what it means when it's love beyond love. It's as if the two of you are one. Now, a lot of people could misinterpret this and say, well, that's what people with borderline personality disorder do. They want to be with that other person. This has got nothing to do with that. We're talking about the heart. If you love from the heart, and you should, if you're ever going to love anybody, if it's, get myself comfortable on my couch, if you're ever going to really love somebody, it's got to be love. Well, it can be ordinary love, but it has to be without condition. And the tragedy of Heathcliff and Cathy is Heathcliff leaves. I won't give you the whole story. And he's angry. And he's very deep nature, very dark, a very, what is the word for it? Very intense. He's intense. Cathy, on the other hand, doesn't show this. She's not frivolous, that's wrong. Cathy is trying to find joy. And then Heathcliff leaves because he overhears something. And that almost kills her. And at the same time, it's as if he kills himself. That sounds so heavy and deep, but basically what happens is Cathy ends up, you'll see if you watch the film, Cathy ends up just closing down and deciding she'll just settle for whatever's there. Heathcliff, on the other hand, goes off, seeks his fortune and comes back, much to Cathy's surprise. But she cannot, in those days, I suppose, she couldn't leave her husband. She had married the neighbor, let's say. She couldn't leave him because in those days, of course, they just didn't do that, I suppose. I don't know. But when he comes back and they're together, I suggest you watch the film and see what it's all about, because often we fall in love with somebody and we don't see beyond the love, just ordinary love. Maybe there isn't a love beyond love, because that's far deeper. That's like becoming one with the person that you feel love beyond love. It's beyond anything you can explain. It's beyond words. And so I hope this helps you in some way. I cannot extrapolate more, although if you'd like me to, I will. I can read you some of Rumi's poetry, which is absolutely beautiful. He's a mystic Sufi. He was around something 1200 years, something like that. Or watch the film and see if you can see between just what's straight in front of your face, what's not said. Look for what's not said. So for anybody, if you love somebody and you are not sure about what if they love, do they love me back? Do they love beyond love? Doesn't even ask those questions. Doesn't matter. But they normally do. They normally love you back, and they can't put a why to it. It's just there. So love from your heart. Let your heart break open, not close down. Because when your heart breaks open, then you're able to love with a type of love that you were asking me about. I hope this helps you. I see that there will be they've done a remake of Wuthering Heights in a series form. And as I said earlier, my apologies to Emily Bronte, who wrote Wuthering Heights, because I've seen the trailer and they've bastardized it into something that's more smutty. But even in love beyond love, that too can happen. But without understanding the original story, it just becomes another smutty film, doesn't it? And it's not that. It transcends that. If this doesn't make sense to you, send me an email and let me know. And if it does, I'd love your comments down below. I hope this helps you somewhat if you're battling with loving somebody and not sure about what if, what can they, what do they, what can they give you? If you want something from them, that's just ordinary love, which is fine. Ordinary love is beautiful, and it's what most people feel. Love beyond love is rare. And very few people feel it. So, enjoy. Like, subscribe if you want to, and I'll be back with you soon. I'm Deborah.